so different because before it was like dim light at your old place, and this is so different. Hi guys, welcome to another Q&A show, the Hallie Quinn Show, and today we're going to be talking about support in your expansion. And we were just talking about this, how every single person absolutely needs support. Every single person to expand, and we're going to get into our own personal stories with that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hi to all who is replaying this and rewatching this. We go live every single week to discuss anything that has to do with growth, basically. With that means self-love, healing, anything with relationships, everything in between. So with that said, hi. And Hallie, so yeah, let's see, support in your own expansion, because we're both personal coaches as well. And so what comes up for you as far as giving support for others for their own expansion in their life, and then what it's like to receive support for your own expansion? How has that been?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that I am open to receiving support for my expansion, because not only is it just exciting and it feels really good and it gives you so much more ability, but it also really helps you see the value of what you can provide, what you provide as a person that supports expansion, right? So I support people's expansion in their emotional and spiritual and creative lives. And I really receive support for my expansion, particularly in my creative work. So I have visions and ideas and all of these things that come through my channel that I have absolutely no idea how to manifest. I don't have the creative skills.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who does. Well, I have several people in my life who help me manifest my visions, but I have one in particular who branded my whole website.
It's so beautiful.
Thanks.
By the way, I just saw it the other day. I was stalking you. Yeah.
And he's just one of these people that can do everything. He does video and photography and web and design and fine art. He just has all of these creative skills, and audio. He's a musician. And so, and we just get along really well, and we're just really close friends. And so he has really up-leveled portals, helped me up-level portals. And I'll have an idea, and then I'll be like, Tabari, what do we, and he's like, yeah, I got this. We'll just do this, and this. And in having his support, not only does it up-level my expansion in terms of my beautiful website, but it up-levels my internal expansion and my feeling of confidence and my feeling of capacity and my feeling of being able to serve. I feel up-leveled because of his support and his influence. And one of my very favorite fantasies to kind of indulge in is when and if my business grows, who's on my A team.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, I don't think I told you this. Yesterday, I was like, you know what? Let's just indulge in that fantasy a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I created index cards for the people that I would want on the portals team. And I wrote next to their name the qualities that they would bring to the qualities that I see in the light and the gifts that I see in them. And so I'm starting to think more expansively because I've experienced the impact of being supported. And now it's well, the sky is really the limit if you have the right support. And there's something just, I think, culturally where we're and egoically where we're having to break out of this mindset of doing it all on our own and feeling we have to do it all on our own, and that we need to be responsible for every part of the thing. And when I made this oracle that's about to be released in the world, it was touched by so many hands. I had the idea, but it was manifested through all of these different creative people and energies. So I'm just all about collaboration these days. It's my favorite way to work. It's my favorite way to serve, obviously.
Yes, we're collaborating right now.
And we provide each other all of this support in the work that we do just by doing work together and supporting each other. So,
man, you hit it on the nail. You totally reminded me how, because that you said yes to support in elevating your personal life or your professional life, right? Like your branding and everything, you start to really reach to this new level of like infinite possibilities. And I love how you made this index card of like who these people that are going to be on your team, and you wrote down qualities. It's so funny that you said that, because like I started thinking about that a little bit, like I have one person on my team right now that is directly connected to my business, that's helping me with the back end stuff that oh my God, I don't have the time to like do all of that and also do what I'm already doing right now. So it gets you excited, and with that exciting energy, you continue to do the things to take care of you, so you can continue to really expand. Because when I think of expansion, I think about like the expansion of impact that we get to make as we're making impact in our lives. It's such a beautiful, fulfilling experience when you know that you're helping yourself and then you have the ability to help others, and it doesn't feel draining. It actually feels like, man, I'm really living in my purpose. I'm really doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. So that is so big. So you touched on so much good things.
I like what you're saying about the expansion of impact, because what I think about it is like it's an expansion of light.
Yes.
Like the more support you have, the more you can expand your light into like further and further reaching places. And then your light expansion like makes other people's light expand.
Yes.
And then you have this like infinite potential to expand light, but it happens through the network of support.
Mm-hmm. Yes. As you were saying that, I literally saw like a timeline of what it looks like to start to have the space to really receive support. And so when I think of my journey, it really started like by myself, like me and me and me and me. Mm-hmm. And there was some communities that I was tied to that allowed me to be in a healthy environment. But in the beginning, I was so concentrated and focused on my own personal healings and becoming my own best friend, like my own person. And then as you do that, you feel, how would I say that? We talk about self-love a lot, but you feel that self-love that you have for yourself. And so that's when the energy of like, oh, I get to receive support, and then you reach to a point where you realize that, you know what, I would like to continue to do what I'm doing because it's working for me. And also though, like, I don't want to be stagnant. Like, how can I continue to grow? And that's where I started thinking about hiring a VA, like actually having like an assistant basically to execute the ideas that I have in my brain, and that I knew that I need support. And that's another thing too, when you realize that you need support, like you would like to continue your day how it's going, and you realize, okay, if I extend my energies into X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna have to give up something else. And so for me, I wasn't willing to give up the things that it's already working for me. So you will come to a point where you will be open to receive support in a bigger way for yourself. And since then, you guys, like the energy, like what you said before, like knowing that you have the support just expands your visions of like how else you can be of support now, because you have the support to make it happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
And when you call on support who can do the things that need to be done in ways far better than you could ever do them, that's the thing. Like, I used to do my own website, and I used to,
which is
like,
great,
it was
skills.
great.
Yeah.
It was totally like what was necessary for my phase of creation.
Yeah.
But once I handed it over to someone who was like actually extremely gifted in that realm, then it's just like, oh, like you do the things that you're brilliant at. I'll do the things that I'm brilliant at, and we can all serve each other's brilliance,
Yeah, love it so much. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else left for me to say, but it all starts with supporting yourself, because then you will have the space to actually feel like, because it's a self-worth thing to be like, yes, I get to receive support.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, and totally acknowledging the fact that, wow, I don't have to do this alone, which is so helpful, you guys, which is so helpful. So what can I say? It always starts with self, as people say.
It is. And I think the cool thing about support too, it's kind of like you don't really have to go seeking it too far. It's like you start to kind of realize that you might need it, and then the people tend to just like drop onto the path.
Totally. That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
She
same.
just slid into my DM.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, yes.
Like, yes, actually. I will say yes to that.
What about you with Tabari? Like, how did he show up magically?
He came to my Sensi circle.
Oh, yes.
And one time we were just chatting beforehand, and he was like, yeah, I'm a graphic designer. I love the work that you do. I would love to support you. Like, let me know if you need support at any point. And then I was like, okay, cool. And this was before I was like taking myself too seriously as like having a brand or anything like that.
Right.
And so then like, you know, a couple months later, I was like, all right, I think I want a logo. I'm like, I'm going to hit up Tabari.
I love it.
And then he was just like, yes. And that was just the very, very beginning of the work that we've done together and will continue to do together.
Right?
And now I support his creative projects. So it's just, yeah, we just are there for it.
It's a fulfilling exchange. But as you've heard Holly, like, right, it started from you doing your thing. You were working on yourself and providing like a support group, Sensi Circle, and you start to expand your network, and then ta-da, right?
Yeah, okay, that's another thing that I want to say is that giving, like, if you're like in the spirit of giving and you're giving your gifts to the world, like people are going to feel so grateful for what you have to give because they're receiving from you.
Yeah.
And when they're feeling filled in by your gifts, then they want to give back to you potentially, you know? So like I feel like receiving is actually rooted in giving.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know?
Totally,
You
guys.
just give without any expectation of how or where you're going to receive, and then you just receive exactly where you need to receive.
Yeah, it will come. And to even be open to it, again, right, it starts with like where you are inside, and then because when you're open, there's something that cleared up for you to see it and be like, yes. So love it so much. I believe that's our talk for today. Oh my goodness. If you just hopped on, watch the replay, comment down below if there's anything that you felt really stuck with you. We would love to hear that, and feel free to share this out. There is a possibility for you to expand the ways that you do what you do with support. All right, guys, if you need any extra support, hit us up. Other than that, we will see you next week. And if you're not liking the Self-Love Exodus already, that's where we update all of our information. And our self-love workshop, Embracing Change, just sold out. So you could definitely add yourself on the wait list because sometimes people do cancel. And next month is going to be a different topic. Do we want to share what it is?
Sure.
What is it again? It's dark.
It's loving through the darkness.
Loving through the darkness, you guys. There's a lot of darkness going on, and so that was the topic that we felt that was needed for the next month. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Mwah.
Bye.